The impact is significant. If I could be like that ghost of, future Christmases, I would take you 5 years into the future and I would show you two futures. One is today, when you decide that you're going to put systems and processes in your business. The other future is if today you decided not to do it. And the two pictures couldn't be more different. And I want you to realise that today you make a decision that you're going to build a systems-driven company because of what it will bring you. And I'll give you a little bit of a map on how you can get there. That's really what Systemology is all about. So I wrote the book that I wanted when I was getting started. Again, systems and processes are important, but where do you start? Where's the system for systemizing a business? So I wrote Systemology, and it's really connected with a lot of business owners around the world, because as a business owner, I can speak business owner language and they get it. And then they go, ooh, I can see this is possible for me. So it's a 7-step process. I'm going to go through the 7 steps now, and you can take some notes as we go, and the book goes into it in more detail, and plenty of resources should you want to go deeper, but I'll give you everything here. How do you go from a business that's in survival mode to a business that is saleable? We'll look at define, assign, extract, organise, integrate, scale, and optimise. So step number 1, define. The misconception that a lot of business owners have when they first start this process is that you're going to need hundreds of systems. They think I'm going to have to document everything. They have this picture in their head of what a systemised business is, and they think, ooh, McDonald's, and McDonald's got everything systemised down to a micro level where they even have a system on how you take out the trash. So they think, wow, I'm going to have to document all of these systems, which seems pretty overwhelming. Where do you start? McDonald's has been doing this for 60 years. You're just getting started. How many systems do you need to document first to have impact? It's probably a lot less than you think. You really only need 10 to 15 systems. And I learnt this when I shared an office in St Kilda in Melbourne, and I was in one office, and then in the office opposite me was a friend, Mike, and he was an ex-E-Myth coach, and he loved systems and processes. So he documented everything in his digital agency, like hundreds and hundreds of systems. And then that's a photo, because I could look through my window into his office. That's a photo of his wall where there are all of his systems and processes, but each line item there is a system. He had hundreds, and do you know why he stuck it up on the wall? To remind everybody to follow the systems. Now, you can only imagine how effective that was. Not very effective.
What if you had to add one?
If you had to add one, reprint the lot. Yeah, and very quickly they got out of date, and people couldn't find what they were looking for, and it taught him and I a very valuable lesson. Is that just because you don't document something doesn't mean it's going to magically stop happening in your business. Your business is kind of already working. What we want to identify are the key systems that deliver the bulk of the result. We call it the 80-20 rule. We look for the 20% of the systems that deliver 80% of the result, and we document those first. What are the most critical systems in your business? I developed a tool called the Critical Client Flow to help you uncover that. You can grab the book and the templates in there, or you don't really even need it. You just need a blank bit of paper. I won't go fully through the exercise now, but I'll give you a few rules to think about. You just start off in the top left-hand corner and you write down who is your dream client, that target client. Who is the person that pays your advertised prices, refers friends and family, is a pleasure to deal with, and you would like hundreds more of them? Think of that one person. Then think of the primary product or service that you would sell to that person when they first get introduced to you. What is the first product they would buy? And then all we do is we map the linear journey that they go through. Don't capture every possible variation. Well, sometimes we've got domestic and sometimes we've got commercial. Sometimes they're going to choose blue widgets. Sometimes they're going to choose red widgets. Don't think about variation. Think about the most probable on what you would like to have happen for that ideal client. The other rule is you only capture what you're currently doing, not what you would like to be doing. Tremendous wins can be gained in your business just by making it repeatable. It doesn't have to be the best. It just happens, or it has to be consistent. Most small business struggles with consistency. McDonald's doesn't make the best hamburger. They just do it consistently. If I have a hamburger in Sydney and then I go to Tokyo, the hamburger is going to taste similar because they have a process. So you need through this exercise, you'll uncover 10 to 15 systems on how you deliver your core product or service and how you're currently doing it, and that's where you start. Because if your business can make money without key person dependency because you've captured the most important systems, then you've got a bit of a game changer. All other problems can be solved with cash flow. You just need to make sure that the business can consistently make money whether you're there or not. So step number 2 is assign. Who knows how to do the thing? The misconception here is that the business owner needs to document the systems and processes, or that they know how to do everything. The reality is the business owner is typically the worst person in the business to be documenting process. They're busy. They've got a million other things, and most of them don't even like documentation anyway. So figure out who on your team knows how to do the different tasks that you identified in step number 1. Jenny knows how to answer the phone and handle that incoming inquiry. Okay, well, she does it to a good enough standard. Let's capture what she does and bring everybody up to that standard, because tremendous wins can be gained by making your business repeatable. So we just use what we call a systems assign sheet. We list out the 10 to 15 systems that you identified in the last step, and then we think who on the team knows how to do it. Your name might pop up on some of them, but wherever possible, try and get the team member that knows how to do the thing. And all you're doing is you're creating a little sprint. Here are 10 to 15 systems that over the next 90 days, I'm going to make sure that we nail it. Then we need to think about how do we extract that out of the brains of those team members. The misconception is that documenting process is time consuming. The reality is it's never been easier to do, especially with the introduction of Angela's going to talk about ChatGPT, but you can record tasks getting done, get them transcribed, feed them into ChatGPT and ask it to draft your process. It's never been easier. There's never been a better time, a more important time to systemize your business than right now. I just want you to start to rewire your brain around what a system is. Maybe you're overcomplicating it in your head. A system could be as simple as a video. Recording yourself issuing out an invoice through Xero. A video of you booking in a job through your jobs management system. Now might be the time that the alarm goes off and you remind yourself that systems are important. There's 2 secrets that I'm going to share with you. The first one, to make this easy, is you want to find a systems champion. If I was going to say anything today that you took away, this would be the most important thing that you could take away. Identify a systems champion on your team who has capacity, who will make it easy for your team to document the process. Make systemization a two-person job because your best team members are busy. You want someone who knows how to do the thing, and then you have another person who helps to extract, document, organise, get it into System Hub. And the best systems champions are often your apprentices. It's the person who knows how to do the work. And what a gift to give them. We all know as business owners, a lot of us get started and we are the technician. And that's why so many tradies get stuck on the tools, because they know how to do the work, but they don't know it is a different skill to run a business that does the work. Those apprentices that are coming through, they haven't yet learnt that lesson. What a gift you could give them. To say, I want you to meet with the knowledgeable team members on our team, and I want you to work with them to find out what it is that they're doing. And I want you to organise and document and store that information. That person, quite possibly, will become the most valuable team member you have. I've seen it time and time again where systems champions go on to be the operations manager. And they may take the reins off you and you groom them into that position. If I was going to give you one secret, that would be it. Who is your system champion? The second one is you work with the systems champion to develop your system for creating systems. They need a process for how do we capture this and where do we store it and how does it get formatted? How do we share that back with the team? You create a bit of a process for that. I share that in Systemology. And there's a lot of resources in lifestyle trading. I mean, they serve everything up to you on a silver platter. They've got a lot of the key principles of Systemology built into their work, but then they've tailored it to the trading industry. You couldn't be in a better place. And then your systems champion works with your team to record those processes. They then take the transcripts, feed it into ChatGPT, get the first draft of those processes organised, they proof it, and then they send it back to the knowledgeable worker and get sign off on that process. You're not involved in that. If it was up to you, it's not going to get done. This is version number 1. We're just making your business repeatable. Later on, we can think about how do we optimise it and how do we improve it. Next, we think step number 4 is organise. The misconception is that you're going to need some complex bit of software, or that maybe this whole idea of systemising is somehow complex. The reality is, simple scales, complex fails. And systems and processes at the best of times has friction. So we want to make this as easy as possible for you and your team. And your systems and processes, you need to send a very clear signal to your team that these are valuable. Don't have them scattered everywhere. Some of them are on Sarah's hard drive, some's on John's desktop, some are sitting in Dropbox, some is in Google Drive. If they're everywhere, they're nowhere. And if we are building a business that's saleable, what is the asset that the acquirer is going to want? Your systems and your processes, you want to serve it up in a nice little package, and that is one of those force multipliers that will get you extra revenue on exit. So you need a centralized place to store these, and you build it up over time. And the secret is you always want to be not more than one click away from a system or a process when you need it. So if you have a fancy bit of equipment on the back of the truck that has to be set up certain way, create a QR code that links to that system, stick it on the piece of equipment so that your apprentice knows that they can scan that system on their phone and follow the steps on how it's set up. If you're assigning out jobs through a jobs management platform, link to the system or the process on how you greet clients when that job is assigned. If you've got calendar invites, always where you can, you want to link to the system when someone needs it. Make it easy, one click away. This becomes your business brain. That's what we're building up. Step number 5 is integrate. This answers the question that came up a little bit before, is how do you get your team on board? What's the point of documenting all of these processes if the team's not going to follow it anyway? There is going to be resistance. There's always resistance at the start to change. Do you know what's going to happen? I'm going to predict the future here. You're going to go back to work on Monday. You're going to be all pumped and go, yes, we're going to systemize. And the team is going to go, here we go again. I bet the business owner went on a lifestyle tradie event and they're all pumped about all of these great ideas on how we're going to change things. It's all right. We'll just take a deep breath. Let's wait a week or two. They'll forget, the business owner will forget, and then it'll just be back to normal. So there is going to be resistance to change. There's always resistance to change. You need to start to understand that the team member doesn't get motivated by the idea that you're going to go to Bali in 2026. That doesn't excite them like it excites you. You need them to understand, what is the benefit for them? How does this make their job easier? Can you show them how they can take a holiday and you're not going to be on the phone every 2 seconds saying, where's that project up to? Oh, I need to chase up that link. Can you get that to me? Most team members, they take a holiday 1 week and then they spend the next 2 months catching up for the 1 week they had off. Let them know by getting systems and processes, we can have other team members that plug in and do your work, so when you come back, you can hit the ground running and you can have a nice restful holiday. Or maybe some team members want to work their way up in your organisation. And you let them know, well, the way that you do that in our business is you capture what you're doing, you create systems and processes, and then we delegate those tasks down to less skilled, lower cost team members, and that frees you up to work on higher value tasks. Systemizing your business doesn't make you less valuable here, it makes you more valuable. So it's everybody's job to systemize, help them to understand that this benefits them. And yes, all of the resistance will happen up front. All of your existing team members who are used to doing things a certain way are the ones that are going to resist change. But I've got some good news for you. It gets easier. You just have to get over the hump. Because every new team member that comes on board, when you create an onboarding system that trains and indoctrinates your newest team members for this is how we do things here, that's all they ever know. There is no resistance when this is how we do things here, and that's all they ever know. So it's only going to be hardest at the start. We have to get over that hump. You've got to get your systems champion and you've got to hold on to this with both hands and you've got to not let it go. And then you want to build up the evidence that you are a systems-driven company. You build up a culture of systems. We blame the system first when something goes wrong. We train based on systems. We ask the question, where is the system for that? At the start, when you're just new to this, there is no evidence within your business that you are a systems-driven company. We need to build that evidence. We need to talk about it on team meetings. We need to link to it in Slack and Asana. We need to share the System Hub systems. We need to celebrate system wins. Give out an MVP, Most Valuable Player Award, once a month to the person who had the most stellar system documented. Celebrate it, do it consistently, and build a culture of systems. And understand, I learnt this from Michael Gerber, I talk about this in the book, that every business is a school. Your team members are the students. Your new team members come on board, and your systems and your processes are the lesson plans. And the whole goal here is, how do we take new students and get them productively adding value to the business in the shortest possible time? Your business is a school. Your systems and your processes are the training and the lessons for that school. Step number 6 is scale. What systems are you going to need to scale your business? Step number 1, we identified the 10 to 15 most important systems to deliver that core product or service. Step number 2 is we thought, where in the business does that knowledge exist? Step number 3, we extracted that out of their brain. Step number 4, we organised that knowledge in a central location. Step number 5, we got the team on board. Now, step number 6, we think about what systems do we need to scale. Because in step number 1, we didn't touch on all of the systems. As in, you're going to need systems for your HR. You're going to need systems for your management. You're going to need systems for your finance. There's a lot of systems in there that we need to cover. So how do you identify those? I call this minimum viable systems. Imagine your business as one big system. And within that bigger system that is your business, there are these subsystems. There's the marketing system, the sales system, the HR system, the operations or delivery systems. And the overall health of your bigger system, which is the business, is dependent on those subsystems. If your sales system is rubbish, it's going to pull down the overall health. If your delivery systems are rubbish, it'll pull down the overall health. We need to have all of these subsystems firing to have a healthy business. And we need to make sure that systems touch every aspect of the business. So minimum viable systems is about what are the 10 systems in each of the different departments that would be mission critical for that department to deliver the outcome that you're looking for. What is the job of the marketing department? To generate leads. What systems would be required if you had to pick only 10, the most important systems? What systems would you have in place for the marketing department to deliver on that promise that it's made to the business that it's going to generate leads? And you go through and you do that exercise in each department. Reaching minimum viable systems where you have that documented in all of the different departments is the tipping point. A lot of people, when they read Systemology, they thought that getting the critical client flow was where the tipping point was. That's really just step number 1 on this journey. And the reason I like the critical client flow is it's those 10 to 15 systems and you'll start to get a bit of momentum. But the real magic happens once you reach minimum viable systems, because then systems touches every aspect of the business. Every team member is exposed to systems and processes. They can start to see some of those transformative effects. So we must work towards reaching minimum viable systems. The final stage is optimize. Now, this is what makes Systemology so unique compared to every other process improvement methodology that came before it. It's in the name. Process improvement methodology like Lean and Six Sigma, it pre-assumes that you have a process that you can improve. A lot of small businesses, when they get started, haven't yet captured their way. Systemology is about process capture first, not about process improvement. Capture what you're currently doing, make it repeatable, and you will have tremendous wins. It's not until we get to the final stage, optimization, that then we start to think about how to improve it. And how do we do that? We build a dashboard. We monitor key metrics inside your business. How many leads have you generated this month? How many sales have you had? What's the average dollar sale? And we become dashboard driven. We build systems to solve problems in our business, because every problem in our business is a problem with our systems. So if you don't have enough leads, you need more lead generation systems. If you are having problems onboarding new clients and managing their expectations, well, we need to improve our onboarding systems and processes. Every problem in business is a systems problem. And when you get down to it, to being dashboard driven, we can look at the numbers and then use that as a way to strategically pick what areas of the business we're going to go to work on. And then at that point, you've got cash flow coming in because we've reached minimum viable systems. We've captured the way that things are currently working. And as I said, every problem can be solved with cash flow by the consultant who knows how to do the thing that or the problem you're looking to solve, and just buy their systems or processes. I mean, that's really why you're here. Lifestyle Tradie serves everything up for you in a package. That's why you hook into a community like this, so that you can see what other tradies are doing, watch where someone else has done something before, and you follow in the footsteps because it's proven. But you become strategic on thinking about which problems that you solve, which is really the job of the business owner. Your problems never actually disappear as a business owner. I hate to burst that bubble, even when you get systems and processes in place. But the quality of your problem increases. Rather than you focusing in on little annoying problems like, oh, where is that piece of equipment, or answering some client's problems, chasing up some money, all those little things, they get solved by systems. You end the game of whack-a-mole with systems, but all you're really doing is elevating yourself. So then you can start to think more strategically. Then we can work on our business instead of in our business. So that's the 7 stages of Systemology: define, assign, extract, organise, integrate, scale and optimise. That's a system for systemising your business. It's a system that I wish I had. Does everyone feel like, did you follow that? Was there anything that I said in there that made you think I can't do this? This is all very accessible to you and proven and built into the fabric of Lifestyle Tradie. You're in the right place. And if you roll this out, you will create a little money machine, a profitable enterprise that works without you. That's the goal of what we're all working towards. If you can make a promise to your clients and deliver it consistently without key person dependency, as in you can do it every single time faithfully, and they keep coming back, your life will change.